All right, we're live. Welcome to Tom Talks Live, Sunday evening edition. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you had a good weekend. I ended up taking a break last night, so I've been trying to do them pretty consistently. Haven't done it a full week yet, but I ended up skipping last night, and I think moving forward, Saturday nights will be just one of those nights where I'm gonna have to take a break. I always end up getting really busy. There's usually stuff going on Saturdays, and then I'm usually getting ready for church. So making sure my sermon's ready, PowerPoint, all the other stuff that goes into preparing for our church service. And so yeah, it just doesn't really make sense in it, So Saturday seems like a good day to like kind of take a break from that, and so yeah, I'm probably going to do that moving forward. Saturday nights will be the one night I don't do it, but I'm gonna try to do it every other night. We're gonna see how this goes. But I'm really trying to stick to it and hoping to do it. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. We had a little bit of storms come through here in West Tennessee this evening, but it didn't really turn out to do anything too much. So I'm happy about that. I'm really done with storms, but I know that's the time of year we're in, so that's kind of part of the deal. Um, but anyway, so I titled this one "Food, Friends, and Family," and so I'm going to talk about each of those. And so first, I want to talk about family. So my dad is actually in town. I got to go pick him up from the airport. He flew in from North Carolina on Saturday, and he's staying just for a couple days to visit with us. So that's been really nice to get to visit with him some. And he came to church with us today and everything. So we got to, kind of participate in that, be a part of that, and meet some of our church folks. And it's been quite a while since he's been out here. Typically, we'll go to visit him. We'll take the road trip and drive out to visit him. So it's been a while since he's been out here. So it's nice to have him. So we've been spending some time together, and I cooked a meal for us this Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night. So we brought him back to our house, and Kim and I planned a particular recipe that I wanted to cook that we like. We have this one quite a bit, and so I wanted to share it with you guys if you like salmon. So this is a salmon recipe. It's designed for an air fryer, but I think you could make it in the oven too. Like I don't think you'd have to have an air fryer to make this one. So if you wanted to just throw it in the oven, I think you could. But let me share it with you. Not sure what you guys are up to on a Sunday, but feel free to say hello and leave a comment. Tell me what you're up to this Sunday evening, getting ready for another week. James is actually out of school. They have spring break this week, so he's off this week. So he's excited about that. Of course, he's taking a couple dual enrollment classes, so he still has homework to do, which kind of sucks, but that's how it goes sometimes. So anyway, if you guys can see here on this, I don't know if it's going to be big enough to see. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So this is a spicy Hasselback salmon. I'm not 100% sure what Hasselback means, to be honest, but I think it's how the salmon is cut and prepared. But it's actually a pretty easy recipe. Like there's a bit of prep work to do with cutting up the vegetables for it, but other than that, it's pretty good, especially if you like sushi. And there's nothing raw about this. It's a cooked fish, but it kind of has a sushi kind of flavor because you use rice and you use cucumber and you use kind of a spicy mayo yum yum sauce kind of sauce for it. So if you like those flavors and you like salmon, this might be something that you would enjoy. So here's a picture of it. And that's essentially what ours looked like. It was a little slightly different, but that's pretty much what it looks like. So yeah, you cut slits into the salmon and coat it in. They call for avocado oil, but we just used olive oil. But you could use either. And then you cover it with like a blackened seasoning. And you can use a lot of different kinds of seasoning for this. You're not really roped in too much, but any kind of blackened seasoning. And then put it in the air fryer and cook it. It kind of gets a little crispy and cooks it like that. But you don't have to use the air fryer. I really think you could just put this in an oven and you could also cook it that way if you don't have an air fryer. But air fryers are pretty cool. Like it's essentially a convection oven because it's got a fan that blows around the hot air. So that's essentially what a convection oven does. But that's how the salmon gets cooked. And then you also make this cucumber salad that has cucumber and avocado and a little bit of jalapeno if you like it spicy, and then some lime juice, cilantro, and then salt and pepper. And so they kind of have the recipe here. And I'll send I'll put the link to the recipe in the chat here. So if you guys are interested in it, let me open my. Forgot to open the chat. Where's that button? There we go. All right, so I should see any messages you guys leave. All right. So yeah, you here's the ingredients. Let's see. Where's the salad? Yeah, so yeah, diced cucumber, jalapeno, avocado, juice half a lime, kosher salt, and then they didn't include the cilantro. It's got cilantro in it too. I don't see that in the recipe. But yeah, it really is. It really is pretty healthy, I think. Put your comment down here. Move my boxes around a little bit. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I love this one, Sharon. This one's really good, and just really good flavor. And then yeah, you cook your rice, and you can make a lot of variations on this. But we had this Saturday night, and then the sauce is just mayo, sriracha, some soy sauce, and maple syrup. So it's kind of a little spicy, a little sweet. Just got a lot of good flavors going on. So if you get a chance to try it, let me know what you think. We do a lot of salmon, like we like salmon, so I have several different salmon recipes. I know some people aren't real keen on salmon, don't really like it that much, and I get that. Like it's definitely like if you don't like the flavor of fish, then you're not gonna like salmon. There's other kinds of fish that are less fishy, quote unquote, but salmon is definitely fishy. So you kind of have to like salmon in order for this to work. But otherwise, yeah, check it out, see if you like it. But we made that Saturday; it was really good, and we were happy with the outcome of it. So let's see if I can get back to. Yeah, here we go. All right. So yeah, I was happy to be able to share that with my dad. He's I think I told you guys in another stream that he actually went back to school, to culinary school, to be a chef, right? And he worked in schools teaching culinary and stuff like that. So I was pretty proud of myself for making a recipe that he liked. And he said he was going to try it out too at some point. So, but yeah, I'm going to share recipes with you guys. If you guys have recipes you want to share, Sharon shared a really interesting avocado chocolate pudding recipe. I'm not sure what you call that, Sharon. That I still haven't tried yet, but we do have one or two avocados sitting around in the fridge that I might see if we have some cocoa powder and try that out because I've been interested to see how that is. I still can't imagine what it's going to be like, but I am interested. I'm intrigued to see what that'll be like. So we're going to try that out once I get the opportunity to do that and see if those avocados are ripe. The ones I picked, I hate avocados are such a pain sometimes because it's really hard to pick ones that are like a little soft. You don't want them super like rock hard. But then, then you end up, peeling them and they got that black stuff in them and, you got to end up scraping off a bunch of it. I hate that. And unfortunately, that's how the ones were. We had to cut off a lot of, bad parts of the avocado and still, thankfully, there's enough of the good parts left to make it work. But that's how it goes. But that's the food I wanted to share with you all. So feel free to share any food recipes that you have. I'm always looking for new stuff to try. If you're like me, you kind of get stuck on the same stuff, right? Like you kind of end up making the same go-to recipes, and then I get burned out. I get burned out on them, and I like to find new things to try out. So yeah, feel free to share those with me. That'd be awesome. And then the last thing I want to talk about was friends. So food, family, friends, and I was just thinking about kind of reflecting on the idea of friendship and how important that is, and realizing, that it makes such a difference in our lives to really develop and cultivate friendships. And it was really difficult. My family and I moved here. We live in West Tennessee, and we moved here about 15 years ago. So we've been here for a good while. And when we moved here, I moved here for the job at the church and didn't know anybody, didn't have family here, didn't know anybody in Tennessee, right? No connections whatsoever to Tennessee. Packed up our U-Haul in Florida, moved to Tennessee, and obviously we had our church family, and we got closer with them. But outside of that, we didn't really have any other friends. Didn't have anybody closer to our age really that we spent time with, and so it was really tough to kind of go for a long period of time, and it took a while for me to be able to find more people, and find a friend group and things like that. And so that's always been something that I found very valuable and helpful. I'm grateful for those people and those friendships that I've kind of developed here over the last few years. It's been really important to me. All right, here we go. Sharon tried an ice cream with cottage cheese, cacao. I guess that's how you say it. Cacao, dash of sea salt, maple syrup. Not bad. So cottage cheese. I don't know about that, Sharon. Ice cream with cottage cheese. What kind of ice cream was it? Was it like just a vanilla ice cream or chocolate, or what were you dealing with there? Because cottage cheese just really, I'm just the texture of it. I don't know how that would work. It's so chunky, like the little cheese curds just doesn't seem like it would jive well with ice cream. So like, how did that mix together? Like, do you just plop it in there and just kind of stir it up, or how did that work? I just think of the ice cream being so hard and the cottage cheese being so mushy and runny that it wouldn't be too good. But maybe it is. I don't know. I still haven't tried your avocado thing yet, so I'm not sure yet, Sharon. I'm gonna have to try a couple of these before I can fully trust them because they just seem really strange to me. But I'm willing, right? I'll give it a shot. But yeah, cottage cheese. That's weird. It's a little weird. I mean, I like cottage cheese in general. Like I've had it. I don't eat a lot of it though, but you know, I guess. Okay, chocolate ice cream. Doesn't taste like cottage cheese. A little bitter taste. Like the avocado ice cream better. Okay. Okay. Where are you getting, like, are you finding these recipes somewhere, Sharon, or are you just coming up with it? Are you just like looking in the fridge and just finding random stuff and like, hey, let's throw this together and see what it tastes like? Because that's kind of what it sounds like you're doing. But maybe you're finding these somewhere. Maybe these are like legitimate healthy recipes you're finding and using. But yeah, let me know if that's if this is something that's you're getting from somewhere or you're just making this up. I'd be impressed if you're just making it up, to be honest. So let me know about that. But yeah, going into another week and thinking about just kind of what I want to accomplish this week. Like I said, my son's out for um, spring break, and so I'm taking a couple of days off to do some stuff. And actually, tomorrow we're planning on going to Shiloh, to the battlefield. It's a civil, for those of you who don't know, it's like kind of a famous Civil War battlefield. Um, so I wasn't at first super excited to go because I was thinking, man, is it just like a big field? Like, do they have anything there? Because I can look at fields here. I don't need to drive an hour and a half to go look at a field. But it seems like it's a state park. They have like a welcome center and facility there and stuff like that. So maybe it'll be cool. Maybe there'll be some cool stuff. Let me know if you've been to Shiloh before. Okay, so you're making them up with ingredients you can eat. Oh, do you have some like dietary restrictions? Like, is there certain things that you can't eat, and so you're just finding what you can? I never would have thought cottage cheese with ice cream. That definitely would not have been like something that I was thinking of. Okay, substitute ingredients, yeah. Yeah, we do that sometimes. Like if we come across a recipe and there's just like a particular ingredient that um we don't have or can't find, it's difficult to get, then yeah, we'll try to find a substitute. So, is that right? You almost named him Shiloh. I mean, it is a cool name, right? I remember, see, the name Shiloh to me always reminds me of that story of the puppy dog. So I remember growing up and we would go to the library and the librarian would like read to us this story about this dog named Shiloh. And I was just like enthralled with this story. And so that always kind of stuck to me with the name Shiloh. But yeah, I guess it's also a battlefield. So yeah, I guess that kind of puts a damper on it, doesn't it? Unfortunately. But what are you gonna do? But Kenner's a good name too, you know. So but I'll let you know how it is. I've never been before. So I'm hoping it'll be good. We're gonna try to get an early start and hopefully have some nice weather, no storms coming through, and get to just enjoy the day and kind of tool around a little bit. And then I don't know what else we're gonna do. We'll see. But that's really all we have planned. And then I have to work the rest of the week, and James will be out. We're trying to get him ready. He's finishing up. I can't believe how fast time has gone, but he's finishing up his senior year of high school and is looking at colleges to go to, and we're looking at a couple, but we're kind of leaning towards Union University, which is one that's local here to us. So we're if we can get some scholarships and stuff, because it is a private college and not cheap, so we might hopefully get that worked out. We got to finish his application and still get some other stuff submitted, but he's been doing a great job. He's really, you know, keeping up with all his schoolwork. You know, most people get the senioritis that last year and don't want to do much, but he's been on top of everything. All right, no grains, no soy, no seed oils, no refined sugar. Oh man, yeah, that's a lot of stuff, Sharon. So no refined sugar. So what about the ice cream though? Is there wouldn't there be refined sugar in the ice cream? Maybe there's like certain ice creams you can get, I assume. But yeah, that's a lot of things. Yeah, you're just around the corner, aren't you? You're like right, right, right across from the campus. You'd be really close. Yeah, I appreciate that. But that's kind of what I was thinking too. You know, we wanted something close by, so we can still be there for them and support them in ways, you know, any ways that we can. So yeah. All right. Well, I don't know what else to talk about. I covered the three things. You know, I always start off with like, okay, I got to come up with a couple things to talk about. Um, and now I'm out of stuff. So if you guys have things you want to talk about, please feel free. Okay, maple syrup, coconut sugar, monk fruit for sweetener. Okay, coconut sugar. Haven't heard of that before. Interesting. I know in general refined sugars like not great for you, and I've been trying to like move away from it, but it's so hard. It is like with my coffee. I would love to be a person that could just drink coffee black, like no cream, no sugar, just black coffee. But and I've tried a few times. It's just it tastes terrible. You know, I'm just so used to having sugar and cream in it that it's really difficult to go straight. You know, no cream, no sugar, and just drink it black. I did, however, get rid of sweet tea. So, and this is thanks to my wife, that we have iced tea in the house, but we don't have sweet tea at all. Like it's completely unsweet. And I know that's sacrilegious in the South, but that's how we do it, right? And my wife's from California, so she's not a Southerner. They don't drink it sweet over there. And so when we got married, anytime we got tea, I would get sweet tea, she would get unsweet tea, and inevitably they would mix it up, right? Either we would get two sweet teas or we'd get two unsweet teas, and I just couldn't drink it. I could not. I thought it tasted terrible, tasted like poison, you know, just bitter. And eventually, right, I started doing because I wanted to have less sugar, right, intake, and so I would do like half and half, right? Half unsweet, half sweet. And then just kind of started like tapering off with the sweet tea until eventually now it's just unsweet altogether. And I think that's healthier for sure, but I just haven't been able to do that with the coffee yet. You tried monk fruit, but can't do it. I don't even know what it is. I don't think I've even heard of monk fruit. Can you just buy that at the groceries? Like, is it actual fruit? I don't know. I know I probably sound really dumb right now, but I don't know what that is. Drink black coffee with a little sugar. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would probably be the next step to try to like cut out the cream and maybe just do a little bit of sugar. I might be able to do that. I might be able to do that. Oh, the unsweet tea? It's a crime. Yes. Yes, I have I've faced some persecution for drinking unsweet tea. People just look at me like I'm crazy. Okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out for it at Kroger because that's where we shop. So I guess I just haven't seen it, overlooked it or something. So I'll keep an eye out. Maybe it's there. So yeah. By the way, I thought you were going to bed, weren't you? You trying to get a little more sleep? I know I need to be honest. I stayed up way too late um, last night. And I know I have several of you friends on here that are like me that stay up too late. I'm trying to get into better routines with that, but it's tough, right? It's really tough. So, but I think I'll probably close it down there. But Tani and Sharon, thank you so much. I was talking about friends, and I consider both of you dear friends, and I appreciate you both. And thank you for joining me this evening. And anybody else who's watching and the replay, feel free to leave comments. I look at all those as well. Let me know what you think about the salmon recipe, and please share any recipes that you have that you'd like us to take a look at. So, thank you all. Have a great Sunday evening, and I will see you in the next one.